we learn so many things and we tackle many things. So thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Cesar. Maybe I can give an opportunity to other people if they have something they can share to us. Have a nice evening. Thanks.
Well done. Thank you very much. And what I will do now is, let me just rush through this presentation, Big Dreamers. Then I'll start with you as soon as we finish the presentation, if you don't mind. Okay, so I just wanted to say after that little video that really upset the whole system, that we are a total and it is a whole opportunity, and we need to plan accordingly. And in the past few webinars and on a few occasions, we've shown this wheel of life. So when we are thinking about our future, can I suggest that
kati ogisula ate nga wamize ebiragala toilet.
Okay. Can I suggest that we consider all aspects of our lives, not just making money, not just our health, our physical health, but there are many aspects of us that make us up. The spiritual aspect, the mental, career, personal, financial, physical, family, social. All these are what make us total and whole human beings. And so I've referred to this book before, so I thought I should project it for those of you who want to look at it. But it has a few very important points in it. This book was published in June 2022, and I had the privilege of ordering it immediately, and I got it on the 15th of July, 2022. The person, the doctor that wrote it, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, in it he has a portion that says, if you have a fixed mindset, it means that you are overcommitted to your current self. And so he encourages us to look into the future and imagine how we want our future self to be like. So that's hence the title, Be Your Future Self Now. It is very, very important to visualize, to put up a dream chart, to really consider how you want your future to be, a better version of yourself. Maybe you can do it in the next 5 years or 10 years, or even 20 or 30 years. And that is just what Neo Life enables us to do, because if you are to get there to the future, you need to understand that you have to be strong. You need to have strengthened your immune system through adequate nutrition and other lifestyle choices. And that's why I meant what we choose affects how our life turns out. This is just a quick picture to show how viruses, which choose to live in our cells, enter the cell and penetrate and make new viruses, which are assembled and then released to attack other cells. Now, as we grow older, our capacity to withstand these potential weakening of the immune system declines unless you consciously decide to do something about it. However, the modern lifestyle has resulted in a lot of dependence on medication that will stop the immune system from working because of the way they work. They are medications and they're not nutrition. So this actually adds to quite a lot of toxicity if we are using them exclusively and depending on them, and yet we are not nourishing ourselves. So I'd like to introduce the Scientific Advisory Board. Those are they, and they were very instrumental in giving us all the things that we have in our business. And I just want to read what is said about them. The Neolife Scientific Advisory Board, which was started by the world-renowned toxicologist and cancer researcher, Dr. Arthur First, is deeply rooted in the heritage and philosophy, which is based in nature and backed by science. For decades, Neolife products have represented the latest frontiers in nutritional science and technology, and we continue to bring forward the same legendary heritage and philosophy that we have been known for. That is the Scientific Advisory Board. The Scientific Advisory Board today is comprised of some of the world's most renowned scientists. Right now there are 10 on the board, 2 more were added recently. And these are scientists who are researchers and nutritional experts with an unrelenting commitment to product excellence and to your health. The Scientific Advisory Board stands firmly behind each and every Neolife product that we have and they have researched and developed for us. So I think we are in a very blessed place, and that's why I thought at this time, when everybody should be planning for 2023 and beyond, we need to thank them that their focus has always been on cellular nutrition and the workings of the cells. But we also have to remember that we live in the real world and there is inflammation and there is oxidation or oxidative damage, which can potentially damage us. We can't escape it, we are in the real world. But what we need to do is to strengthen our body, and that is the decision we make when we decide to buy differently, when we decide to learn to buy differently. And that's why I pointed out the mindset. If it is fixed and refuses to change, then you will go down the same road of saying, let me wait until I feel something before I do anything about it. Okay, so these are the things that can happen when there is chronic inflammation. That is the root cause of most diseases, if not all. You can get memory loss and cognitive decline. You can get increased cardiovascular diseases. You can get cancers developing. Those are the abnormal growth of healthy cells. The digestion might not work properly, and therefore everything else is lost. The muscles are lost, weight gain instead of maintaining a healthy weight. Skin is damaged, and joints and mobility are compromised. And that is what we see. And those are the diseases we see on a day-to-day basis. But today's webinar is to get us to see that we can take active participation in our health. We need to be proactive and not reactive. So we often have wondered, or the guests have asked, why do you have cleaning products? I thought you were supposed to give us nutrition. Well, that's what I meant by a total opportunity. We have cleaning products that reduce the burden on the environment and on ourselves. So by saving money, as we take care of ourselves and the environment, we are bringing down those bad forms of inflammation. So in the open discussion, for those of you who want to ask this question, and it is the most often asked question, what do I give to treat such and such and such? Okay, how we respond to that is that, okay, we want to speak to all our colleagues, friends, and family, and we want to share with them what we've got. We're not treating diseases, we are making everybody proactive and just educating them. So what you look for are people who are well, but are worried about their future. They want to get to the future nice and bright, but then when they look around them, their uncle is sick, their mother is sick, their brothers and sisters are not doing very well. So they are worried, they're not feeling anything yet. They want to take greater responsibility in the face of their current circumstances. You can speak to them and help them. And then individuals and their families who might have had a bout of illness or are battling with something and want to restore their health and vitality. Or people who might have already been convinced that, yes, chronic medication is the way to go, you know, from the pharmacy. So you might want to advise them that, yes, they shouldn't stop their chronic medication, but you can help them to restore energy through nutrition. And then, of course, we have the youth, those who are vibrant, still proactive, they're very health conscious. I want us to really focus on those so that we at least rescue them further down. So that is why we have to ask the question and keep focusing on the future self now. That is why I bought that book, because it is so encouraging and motivating, and it has some action steps as well. And then weight has become a problem. Last week we talked about diabetes. I hope you learned something from the angle I approached diabetes from. And so we need to encourage people to manage their weight. So this is what we advise generally, and we've spent several weeks talking about the importance and why the Scientific Advisory Board put together the core nutrition. Each aspect has a role to play. However, if one is on a budget, you can start with at any point and they will still feel a difference, even if it is just starting with 3NM, which logically should be the first place to start. Those are the whole grain oils that were processed out of our food. And by replacing them, the cells out of which we are all made at least begin to benefit from the nutrition that is available, and the toxins that may have accumulated in those cells are released and let out. But one has to remember that commitment is the key. And then the rest of the Pro Vitality, we have omega-3 oils, which are very, very, very important and very highly deficient in most people's diets. And hence the amount of inflammation we see. And over the weeks, we've covered topics like heart disease, or we've also covered another topic that was called chronic pain syndromes. We've talked about Alzheimer's. We've talked about a few things, but today I want us to just bring things together so that as we go off into December and perhaps the new year, we will be thinking differently, and we will have resolved not to have a fixed mindset. Then fruits and vegetables, very important. What this pack supplies is supplementation. It isn't taking the place of what you should be doing. You should be supplementing. And then, of course, we have things for children as well. And that is where you see the wisdom of this company and the founders and the Scientific Advisory Board to remember that children need to be nourished, because they lay down over 1,000, rather over 1 billion cells per day. So just quickly, these are our ranges. We have the cleaning range. We have a personal care range, which is non-toxic, 100% biodegradable. We have this amazing range for the skin, which is age defying and 100% organic, and we have the nutrition range. So let's look at targeted solutions, and this is purely to show you that we have options. Vitamin B complex is required by everybody. We have it in the core nutrition, in the shake and the multi. However, I firmly believe that all of us could use extra vitamin B complex. So we have it in two ways, the sustained release and then the lipotropic adjunct. It will just help with a lot of situations, including keeping the blood vessels nice and clean and patent, including keeping your liver healthy, not fatty, okay? And so things like that, I wanted to emphasize that in Neolife, we can never even talk about side effects. They're only additional benefits. Unlike allopathic medications where you are concerned about side effects, there's nothing like that here. You will see benefits. And then we have other important vitamins. Everybody goes on about, yes, we need, we get vitamin D from the sun. The truth of the matter there is that the sun converts the raw material in your skin called omega-3 oils and other essential fatty acids into vitamin D. But if those are not there in the first place, then you will be vitamin D deficient. And vitamin A and D, and by the way, E and K, which are fat soluble, are highly deficient in a lot of people because of the modern lifestyle. So we have that as an option. You can supplement. The vitamin A and D is very good as a budget product for those who might find omega-3 expensive. So you can use omega-3 on alternate days if you want, and alternate it with vitamin A and D. So there are many options without making excuses for not using the product. And then another Neolife difference that I wanted to point out is the fact that Neolife gives us nutrients in families. Vitamin C is found naturally with flavonoids, and the two together enhance the body's ability to make collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies, and it's what holds us together. It is almost like the cement of our cells and our tissues to keep us held together and to keep us strong and elastic everywhere. So with flavonoid, the ability of vitamin C and other nutrients and elements to make collagen is amplified remarkably. They gave a percentage which was astronomical, but yes. So nothing is made for show, yeah. Everything that we have has a purpose. And so by knowing nutrient families, you'll actually enhance how you utilize your products, and you can actually venture into products that you haven't used before. And then we are blessed to have had the leading research in the power of phytonutrients. Those are plant nutrients, and we have Cruciferous Plus, which I'm encouraging all of you to add to your product going forward if you want your future self to be well protected against those hormone-mediated cancers, because we are exposed to a lot of things that can become nasty. And the cruciferous is also found in phytodefense, which is plant nutrient extracts that have been shown to increase the body's immune capability and other things. Now, another thing, we are so aware of the importance of minerals for our bones, for our immunity, for men, their prostate, the prostate health of men, for fertility, for maintaining healthy hair and skin, so many things, for good sleep, for the functioning of nerves. Yeah, so minerals are important. You don't get enough in your diet. In fact, if it is highly processed food, you're getting minus, you're in the negative, in a deficit, because when the minerals are required, your body will have to break down your own bones to access those minerals, and you don't want to do that. So as you think about your future self, remember that it becomes necessary to supplement. It actually isn't a luxury anymore, it is a necessity. Then we have specialist products. I call them specialist products, but you know, they give real results with the future in mind. Everybody is concerned about diabetes, and I hope the webinars that we've had on diabetes have been quite illuminating. Yes, we have botanical balance, which beyond controlling blood sugar, brings down inflammation, helps with weight management, and it's a phenomenal product. So we have choice, we have the future in mind all the time. Same with CoQ10. If you listen to its attributes, help to reduce muscle pain, which is associated with certain medicine use. Supports cognitive health. That's what happens when people advance in age, their cognitive health declines. But if you start early, it will be supported. Supports healthy vision and hearing. Again, with the future in mind, It helps to promote cellular energy, because by the time we reach about 45 to 50 years old, our ability to create CoQ10 in the cells has declined to 50 or less % of what it was when we were younger. Okay, so we need it, and it is very important for heart health. Don't wait to develop heart failure before you remember to use what you've got. Then other products, aloe vera, that's in the herbal range, very, very soothing, refreshing, and it is so good for the digestive system and for managing stress. Then of course the detox program. In it, I wanted to point out garlic, so important. If you want to keep bad bacteria out of your system, and ultimately viruses, ultimately worms even, this is a wonderful product. And then the cherry on top is for your skin. We have clinically tested, scientifically produced. This skincare range is amazing. For those of us who have used it for a while, it actually reverses the signs of, the obvious signs of aging. An amazing range indeed. And as a business, if you're looking for a good business, you can make a good business out of it. Okay, so yes, we can now have an open discussion. I apologize for the technical glitches at the beginning. In answer to that question, what do I give to treat ... Well, I've shown you that we are about being proactive so that we practice preventative maintenance. Yes, you are welcome to discuss. I'll stop sharing. Anybody who wants to put their hand up, you are welcome to put your hand up if you have anything to discuss. Okay, Big Dreamer. Yes, please.
Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for allowing us to discuss. Thank you for everything. And you are telling us to reflect to the webinars we have had, anything that we have learned, but of course in the line of improvement, in the line of everything that can help us. I think the person who has benefited most from our presentations. First of all, I knew about the food pyramid and how we can. By the way, I'm Rosemary River. I'm a nurse by training. I've been here for some time. I appreciate everything. But I must say I've learned a lot from our webinar. First of all, the how do I call it? The breakfast pack, core nutrition, whatever you can call it, that's pro-vitality and the protein. Ooh. What I've seen is that when I use pro-vitality and Neuro Shake, I feel my body goes back to what it should be. I've felt that. And like what I've seen also, whenever I give to my people, if they can manage to start with pro-vitality and Neuro Shake, they can never go wrong, unless otherwise, you know. Of course, the world can't be 100% the way we want it. There's some slight differences, but whoever has used those two, whatever they have, we have seen a difference. Yeah. So I've appreciated the importance of those core two products. Before I used to think of something, maybe when I think about bonds, I go there to Karl Marx and so on. And you find that the progress is slow. But now I know why we should start with the proteins. At the main thing that build everything, I know why we should start with our foundation pro-vitality, because it has got at least most of the basic things the cell needs to start off. Yeah, I've really learned that. And then also, even through our webinar, I've also appreciated the importance of the cleaning products. I've been having them here and there, but when I learned that, much as we are trying to detoxify, we are trying to put our cells right by feeding them right. It's also very important to see that we do not introduce more toxins that we know we have on daily basis. On daily basis, we bathe, we wash. I do bathe, I do wash. Also found that I use a lot of here, even sometimes this other, powdered soap and all that. I was like, oh, how much toxins do I introduce in my bathrooms, in my sinks and using my own hands, me? And I was like, if I'm fighting, then I'm fighting from the front when somebody's hitting the back. So will I win the battle? So I started off, I bought G1 laundry, and actually we are all of us are enjoying it. Even somebody from school was also asking for it. Mommy, give me G1 laundry and I soap. Hey, so we have really changed. And by the way, it is enjoyable. After washing, the hands, instead of drying, they're even more softer. Then I'm like, oh, it's even economical, by the way. The one I bought in June, I'm still using. We have not even, oh God, everything goes by experience. It's about experiencing the things and really enjoy. And I really love it also knowing that I'm not using something that has toxins, my God, for my body. If I can use the pro-vitality, then why not the G1 laundry? Also, I bought LDC, the one I'm using on the sinks, on the everywhere, and it's also okay because when I buy, like 1 liter can mix 5 liters of water, and then we keep on picking using our mixing bottles, and we keep on washing, and it is simple. It's as simple as that. You know, before I think my mind was fixed that these things may be expensive. No, it's after using that you realize. Anyway, I'm so good. I think I'm the most beneficiary. I think I've learned a lot. Let me give a chance to other people anyway to share, but thank you very, very much. What we learn here, if somebody really follows, we benefit definitely. When I use the products, I find it very simple to share with other people. I find it very easy to help. Many people are dying. Doctor, for you are in South Africa. Here in Uganda, our Mulago has become like hospice. The Uganda Cancer Institute. People go there and banner the cure rate, but of course also you see statistics. But now at least we are on the prevention side. Anyway, let me stop there. Thank you very much for this time.
This is totally amazing. Thank you so much, Rosemary. You don't understand just how my heart has been warmed just to hear you say that, you know. Okay, I'm becoming emotional. You can put your hand down, Rosemary, and anybody else want to make any comments? As I say, this is sort of rounding up the year, because I think these webinars have gone for a little over a year. When we started, we were barely a handful of people. I could count people on one hand. But on a few occasions, like when we spoke about the menopause, and when we spoke about men's health, and when we spoke about a few other topics, like I think fibroids, we were full house, which was so heartwarming. Does anybody else want to make any comments? Okay, there's Ampumuza. Christine, please unmute.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doctor. I also want to really appreciate, you've said that it is the webinars have gone on for more than a year. I think I joined in a little bit, I think around August, but I want to really appreciate. I think like Rosemary, what struck me most was the fact that as someone who really cares so much about the environment, I had never known that much as I'm trying to look at the bigger things, in my home, I'm spoiling the environment by using the soaps and all these other detergents. So I came up with a slogan, you use what you see. So I had to throw out everything so that I don't have even to see it, and replaced, of course, the washing powder with G1 laundry and the care and the LDC. And now I feel very happy that much as I had been, you know, you write papers on environment, you do all those kinds of things, but when you are actually failing to make the small steps to because of ignorance, really for me it was it was about ignorance, not knowing these detergents and soaps we use, how toxic they can be to the body. I've used Botanical Balance. I think the first time I read, you shared about Botanical Balance, I immediately said, okay, I have to get this one. And it has really helped me a lot, especially in managing my weight, but also also helps you to feel good in a way. So I think another thing that I also didn't know was about the foundation products. Now I know it is a rule. I don't give anything or recommend anything else before the foundation products. And sometimes when I give someone Pro Vitality, if it's the only thing they can afford, within just a few days, they'll say, okay, I feel some change. Thought, okay, after that we can progress much. So thank you very much. We can only pray that God blesses you, because you have also helped us to help other people. And I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. It isn't about me, by the way. I'm just so glad that each one of you has decided not to have a fixed mindset any longer. I think a few of you will remember that for years and years and years, I've been saying the same message, right? I haven't changed it. And if the mindset has now shifted, then I feel I'm full of joy that something has shifted. Anybody else? Are you all good? I know it's almost an hour since we began, and unfortunately. Okay. One of the questions I've been having is whether I tend to be a little complex. I just want some feedback on that, whether my approaches are easy to understand, are they? I just want some feedback on that one. Okay, Ampumuza, your hand is up quickly.
Thank you so much. I have found your teaching really accessible to, I'm not a medical doctor, no, but I understand my body well. Now, apart from even knowing how to use the products, but the way you explain to me is really accessible, simple to understand. Now I have a brother who is a health worker. So when I was sharing with them about the products and whatnot, and he was so stuck in this medical mindset, and I tried to mention, I said, but I mean, you're talking as if you've gone to medical school for maybe a few weeks, because for me it made a lot of sense, and it was so clear for me to understand how my body works and how I should take care of it better, from the way you take us through the cell structure, how a healthy cell looks like, an unhealthy cell, and the way you bring in how the nutrition, how the products now help in repairing and trying to create interventions where the body is not doing right, the joints, everything. For me, it was very accessible. I cannot forget the sickle cell webinar you gave. I think every time I can also continue thinking about it. And when I got someone with a niece who has sickle cell, I could easily remember what you shared with us. Okay. So right, to me, it's really understandable.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Not complicated. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Margaret Amulaku.
Hi, Doc. Thank you so much. I just want to say that you're just getting involved and getting out there. I gave the products more light, and people got to know that they're actually serious things and that we should take them more seriously. It just reinforced what is already there, but put a stamp, like a seal, that this is really it, and just you coming from the medical field and reinforcing it. And then the other thing, I don't think you're complicated. I think you're just appropriate, because sometimes we need to use them depending on who we are dealing with. So it just made us comfortable that we are able to deal with people across the board, irrespective of whether they're knowledgeable or not. So depending on who you're dealing with, they could actually see you actually know what you're talking about. Like I can say for sure that even if I was talking to a doctor, they would think I'm at their level. Of course I am not, because I'm not a medical doctor. But just having that knowledge from you at that level brings me to the level that I wouldn't have been without relating to somebody like you. So that's one of the things of social capital, that we are able to get relations that we would never otherwise get and would not have that information at that level. And then the other thing, like I said, for me, I learned a lot, especially on the cleaning products, especially the laundry soap. And especially when it came to the men's hormonal imbalance. Women we've always known, but for the men, it's like, you've never really taken it like it could be there. And I think for me, that was a real big eye opener. And just to thank you for taking your time and just taking us through the way you did. So it's not complex. It is just appropriate to know where to use what information with who and where. So thank you so much for that time. And I just know that next year we're going to have a better time. And I know that we can talk to people across the board. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, Margaret. Coming from you, that's a true compliment, because you are amazing in your teaching as well. So I think in the new year, we should do a joint webinar, you and I. That would be an overkill for everybody else. They'll be flabbergasted. Anyway,
I think it would be a wow. Thank you.
There is a lady called Avaga Savior. Avaga, who invited you? If you can just unmute and say whether you've been invited to this webinar by somebody specific.
Yes, good evening, Doctor. I was invited by Sister Florence Oriama.
Okay, is she on the call?
I think so.
Okay, please talk to her. She will walk you through the procedure of getting started. And MRK would like us to discuss allergies again. We've done allergies before, but we can do it again in the new year, perhaps, or next week. If push comes to shove next week, what will the date be next week? It will be the 29th. Yeah, it won't be quite month end, so we can revise allergies next week. Thank you for giving me a topic. I appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence, and I'm just so appreciative of the fact that these products are making sense. I have had a concept called connecting the dots ever since I got started with this opportunity. And that's because I was looking for a way to not poison my children anymore. I had red labels on products in the supermarkets. I was horrified. I had declared that I don't want to ever go shopping again until somebody invited me to look at the opportunity. So all of you who are new, if you have recently been invited to look at the opportunity, whoever invited you loves you very much. Trust me on that one. And I just have been reminded by all of you, but by Rosemary Triamreba particularly. Remember, I even sang a little song, "There's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza." Do you remember that song? There's a hole in my bucket. If you are hoping to carry a bucket full of water, but there's a hole in it, it won't happen. Same. If you're hoping to get healthy, but still refuse in your fixed mindset to change your detergents, your skincare, your health won't come. It will not come. You'll be wasting your money. And I stand by that statement when I started connecting dots, and science agrees that people are overweight because of a toxic burden. Okay, so let's share this message. Let's really go flat out. 2023 is going to be awesome. I have been shaken out of my comfort zone, and I don't intend to go back to a comfort zone until I reach my goals. I hope you feel the same way too. Thank you for being here. If there's nothing else, we shall call it an evening. Good night.